Oh! Oh! His face! What's up, guys? Cocojobro here. I hope you guys are doing fantastic and well, and welcome back to another video of Dead by Daylight. As you can see on the screen right here, Mr. Pinhead, aka the Cenobite, is here. Hellraiser is now on the PTB, so if you guys haven't tested it out already, make sure to download it and check it out. Well, in today's video, we're going to be going over the Mori. We're going to be going over the add-ons and also to the perks, but first what we need to do is explain the killer's power. And then afterwards, I'll give you guys my best opinion on what are the best add-ons and what are the best perks to use. So in a second, you'll see the timestamps come on the screen, and that'll direct you to where to go if you want to just jump ahead to those spots on the video. But let's get started. Now, right here, we're just going to jump right into it. I love this description: a demon to some and an angel to others. I like that one a lot. But anyways, let's just go through him, his perks and attributes and everything. So he is just like Trapper. He goes at 115%, and he has a 32-meter tear radius. So this is an M1 killer with an M2 playstyle, and how this killer's power works is very interesting. Now, the power is called the Summons of Pain. I can give you guys just a really quick breakdown. Mainly what his power is you press the M2 button if you're on PC, and what it does is it gives you a little teleport area to teleport to. So if you've used an add-on on the nurse or the blight, this little like aura pops up letting you know how far you can hit or teleport, whatever. So anyways, it gives you this little blue like aura, so it lets you know how far you can teleport, and then from there you open up this gate and you control a little spear. Now what happens is you try to maneuver it around and it launches towards a survivor. Now there, a survivor will have to break out of the chain that you connected with, and also 2 extra chains. So it actually stops them, I would say briefly, for about like 2 or 3 seconds. It really slows them down, and the survivors can move. So the chain will hit them and then they'll move back, and they just have to hold the action button and they'll break out of the chain, but it slows them down a little bit. Now what the killer also has is something called the Lament Configuration, which essentially is just a little box in his hand. And what happens is, as the match starts, the box will appear somewhere around the map and the survivors will be able to see it. Now they have a little timer around them, kind of like how Freddy has the little clock before they go into the dream world. The Cenobite or Pinhead has a little chain timer that goes around, and once that timer is complete, the box on the map for the survivors will appear in yellow, and they have to go grab it. If they don't grab it, over time little chains will come out of nowhere and start harassing them. Whether they're trying to do a gen, it'll grab them and they'll have to break out. Whether they're running, no matter what, these chains will constantly harass their survivors until they break out, which gives you a really great time to catch up on them. Maybe it might mess up their loops, throw them off. It's a really cool passive ability that he has. Now at the same time, once the survivors grab the box, they have to do a little puzzle, which mainly is just they have to hold the mouse button down, and then they have to do the little puzzle. At that time, your screen will start to static, kind of like the doctor, and then you have to find where that heartbeat is and look at it, and then you can teleport to them, how like Freddy teleports across the map, or like Hag teleports. Once you teleport, the survivors will be held captive, and these chains will come on them and it will hold them, and then he'll say his famous line, you open the box and I came. And so when you go to them, you'll appear and they'll be able to see you, but you can also hit them while you're phasing towards them. So it's a really neat ability where you can maybe down someone or harass someone off a gen, maybe use ruin, and then you can teleport to whoever is doing the box. When the survivors grab the box, the chains stop. No more progression on your chain meter. It just stops. So it's really pretty interesting how that works. If we go down to the second paragraph at the bottom, it says, when the Cenobite picks up the Lament Configuration, a chain hunt is activated. Additionally, all survivors are instantly bound by chains, causing them to scream and reveal their location. The Lament Configuration will spawn in a new location after the Cenobite or the survivors have used it. So pretty much it takes I think it's like 20 or 30 seconds. And then when you use it, they scream. they're bound, it gives you time to catch up. If they're close, that's awesome. If they're far, it just, you know, interrupts them even more. So it's a really interesting killer. It's really weird too how he works. Also too, if someone picks up the box, they are also oblivious to you, so you can sneak up on people, or you can kind of figure out a way to you know, utilize that to your advantage. You will also have a little icon on the survivor, so you know that they have the box and they're kind of trying to do the the little game or the box. All right, let's go over to his 3 perks. Let's go real quick. Scourge Cook, Gift of Pain. You are the bringer of sweet pain. At the start of the trial, up to 4 random hooks are changed to Scourge hooks, so they become white around the map. When a survivor is unhooked by a Scourge hook, they suffer the hemorrhage, so they bleed a lot, and the mangle status effect until they're fully healed, which means they kind of have sloppy butcher on them, and it takes them a while to heal. The first time the survivor is healed, they suffer 9% penalty to healing and repairing actions until they're injured again. So this is really good. You can apply this to 4 different people and get a 9% penalty on 4 different survivors. This would be really good to tie up with maybe like Sloppy Butcher. Maybe you can use this with Dying Light. Deadlock. You induce mental suffering by crushing any hope of escape. After a generator is repaired, the entity blocks the generator with the most progress for 30 seconds. You can see the aura. It's white during this time. This is really good because it lets you know where the next progressive aura, or where the next most worked on generator is. You can kind of maybe camp around it, or, you know, fight someone and chase them, and then afterwards you can go back and maybe kick it with Pop or Surge. So it's really good. Mind you, this is like Repressed Alliance with how Cheryl has that perk where she can block the gens. Same with you. You can block it, but it won't regress the gens or anything like that. It's just blocked. So make sure to use that to your advantage. And then the last one is Hex Plaything. This is some BDSM stuff. Trust me, when you see the Mori, it's like, what the heck? A hex that toys with the victim's suffering. The first time you hook a survivor, they become cursed. And the Hex Plaything activates a doll totem. The cursed survivor suffers from the oblivious status effect until the Hex Plaything is cleansed. So you hook someone, they get unhooked, and then a doll totem turns into a Hex totem. Mainly what happens is that the totem is only revealed to a cursed survivor when they're 16 meters near it. Now, if it's tier 1, it's like 24 meters, whatever. But 16 meters is very, very small. They have to be really close to it. And then for the first 90 seconds, only the cursed survivor can cleanse that totem. So it's really interesting that's only revealed to them. It pops up like purple for them to see. Other people could see it too, but for the first minute and a half, only the cursed person can do it. Something that I'm gonna probably tie up with this is maybe using Hex Undying, or maybe you can use like Retribution, so you can see all the auras. Once that person cleanses it, now everyone suffers because of their mistake. You can also use just other perks, like maybe Haunted Grounds too. That would be really cool. So there's just a lot of cool combos you can do. Let's really go quick through the add-ons. The add-ons are really cool. I'll let you know which one I like from each tier. So you have the Engineer's Fang. Mainly what this does is when you possessed chain, when you use your open gate ability, you create this possessed chain, and mainly when you use this, it injures any healthy survivors, but it doesn't bind them or spawn extra chains. So like, remember when I said you hit them and then 2 extra chains come and they have to get out of it? This one just injures people, so it kind of makes you like a snake huntress or a snake deathslinger. It's pretty cool. It also increases the time to close the gateway after you hit a healthy survivor. So that whole animation of going from being a chain to being the Cenobite, it's a little bit longer. I really like this one, the Iridescent Lament configuration. So like I shared with you at the beginning of the match, all the survivors can see your box. This one hides it as the chain hunt meter is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So they won't be able to know where the box is unless they're 16 meters from it. So that's really good. It's a very small box, but when the survivors spawn, it's a big white box on the screen, so they know where it is. But on the ground visually, it's really tiny. It looks like a little ice cube. So this is a really good thing because it allows you to get your chain hunt going before they pick up the box. Because when they pick up the box, it stops the chain hunt from actually being active. Chatter's Tooth, this is really cool. You can't see the box when you spawn on the map. And remember, if you get to the box before they do, they become bound by chains, they scream, and they become, I believe they become oblivious for a second, but nonetheless, you know where they are. So this allows you to grab it. It does deactivate them being bound, but they will scream at least, and you become undetectable for 12 seconds. So this is actually really good because they'll scream, they'll freak out, they'll run, and they might actually run into you because it gives you a 12-second head start to catch up to them because they won't hear you. I really think that this one is the best one in the purple, which is the greasy black lens. This one, pretty much survivors hit by a possessed chain. So when you open the gate and then you swirl your little chain, it reveals them for 6 seconds. I think having any aura perks that reveal where survivors going, left, right, if they're at a loop and you hit them through a window, killer shack, you'll know which way they're going. And if they don't know where you're at and you know where they're at, that gives you an advantage. So I think this is the best one in the purple. Impaling wire, when a survivor uses the environment to break a chain, an additional chain will target them. So it's really cool. It just kind of harasses them even more. Original pain, injured survivors who break free from a possessed chain suffer a deep wound. So if you tag it with this one, so Engineer Fang, you use your chain, you hurt them, now they're injured. You use the original pain, you use your possessed chain again, and you hit them, now they're in the deep wound status effect. Not sure how strong that really is because I would rather just chase someone, or I would use my chains to slow them down rather than just put them in a deep wound state. It's kind of like Legion. It's kind of pointless. Frank's Heart, considerably, speaking of Legion, considerably increases the maximum casting range of the gateway. So when he lifts his hand to bring up that little blue aura to see how far you can create your gateway or your little chain, it just increases the maximum range. It moderately increases the possessed chain maximum travel distance. You'll see it like when you just let it zoom off into outer space, it'll only like travel for like a second. So maybe this will bring it to like a 2-second distance before the animation dies out. Considerably increases the time it takes for survivors to solve the Lament configuration. It's a really fast if you don't have this add-on. They could pick up that thing and do it like in 3 to 5 seconds. It's really ridiculous how they can just, survivors can pick it up. Survivors carrying the Lament configuration, though, they suffer from an exhausted status effect. So that's the Slice of Frank. Torture Pillar considerably increases the speed at which the chain hunt activates. I think this, in terms of green add-ons, is crazy. And you can see I'm pairing it up with the Iridescent. So they can't find the box until a chain hunt starts. So again, the timer, I think it's a minute. Once it hits a minute, all these chains will harass them, but this will increase it more. Maybe it's 55 seconds, maybe it's 50 seconds, I don't know. But anything to constantly harass and help me, just like how Nemesis has his zombies to just help him, it gives you a great advantage. And I'll be honest, he's a really cool killer, but he's not that amazing. Moderately increases the maximum casting range. That's this one. Increases the time it takes for them to solve the puzzle. Decreases the cooldown after you connect with your possessed chain. I think this one's honestly one of the best ones. The Skewed Rat. The Spoiled Meal increases the distance it travels. We talked about that. Increases the churn rate. I will also say this one is arguably the best one too in terms of Yellow, because using that churn is kind of like using Billy, where it's kind of weird and wonky when you control your the chain. So it's kind of weird, but if you need help, the maggots will help you out. Bent Nail, this is just a gimmick one. You get 100% more blood points when you hit someone, but only your connective chain will slow them down. It's not worth it to do this. They can get out of that thing in like less than a second. Moderately increases the speed at which the chain hunt activates. That's really cool. You could probably add both of these and then have the chain hunt start really fast, which makes the survivors have to get this box, which is kind of like the pig. You know, if you put a hat on them, now they have to do the game if a gen pops. But this one, it's just constantly pesterizing them, or this one, excuse me, constantly pressurizing them. So Maybe we can try that. Double add-ons. Slightly decreases summon of pain cooldown after you hit someone, and then the cricket slightly increases the turn rate. So that's him in a nutshell. I hope you guys like this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for being patient with me. I was explaining earlier in our Twitch stream that I'm going to be moving, so I've been planning different things where we had a huge event on our channel that went really well, and then also too we had just some time we needed to take off to clean and get ready to move. If you guys know what moving is, it takes a lot to pack up this room, and if you can see my room, it's incredibly big, so there's a lot of stuff in there. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this killer. We're definitely going to be posting a lot more content on this killer specifically, and hopefully we get a lot more new updates too. So it's going to be really cool. But thank you guys so much again for watching. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe too if you haven't already, because this will definitely help our channel grow and more people see this video. But I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone. Oh his face. What the heck was that? He just got sent to the Shadow Realm. They had a BDSM Mori? A BDSM Mori? Run it back. There ain't no gender discrimination. Give me the smile. Give me the cheeks.